Okay? So we want to solve for y, meaning we want to get that guy all by himself. So we don't want to move him around anywhere. We want to keep him exactly where he's at. What can we move?
You can move the 4x.
Okay? And how am I going to do that?
Since it's a positive number, you subtract 4x.
Okay, so I'm going to subtract 4x, and we go back to our junior high teacher. What I do to one side,
You do to the other.
I have to do to the other side. Over here, though, notice 28 does not have an x. So I'm not going to put the 4x directly under it, rather on the side, because they are not the same kind of numbers. They're different terms.
So then it'll be...
Hold on one second. So no like terms on this side, which is why I put this 4x over here off to the side.
So, yeah, I'm keep going.
Uh-huh.
So then you would bring everything down, but you would you'd put the negative 4x in front of the positive 28 because it has to be in the form of y equals mx plus b.
All right, hold off on that step. We're going to do that at the very end, just so that we can see the process first before we get there, okay? So right here, we do bring everything down. So 4x minus 4x, we did it to get rid of it on that side, which made it a 0. And then minus 7y equals. And I'm going to bring it down exactly how I see it. I'm doing it step by step for you right now, so it's not throwing everything at once. So 28 minus 4x. Just writing it like a regular number sentence because I can't put those together. Okay?
So now that you have the negative 7y, to get the y by itself, you'd have to divide both sides by negative 7.
So now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 7. However, on my right side, I have two different things. So when I say divide both sides, it really means divide everything on that side by negative 7. So everything gets divided by negative 7. I like to go ahead and split it up so I know everything's being divided by it. So divide all terms by negative 7. Okay. Negative 7 divided by negative 7?
Or
Or just what?
y.
Just y. Equals 28 divided by negative 7?
Negative 4.
Negative 4 divided by negative 7.
You can just leave it as positive 4 over 7.
Okay. So 2 questions. Why is it positive?
Because two negative signs make a positive sign.
So when dividing, a negative divided by a negative makes a positive sign. And I like to go ahead and make those positive signs when I see them on top of each other. All right, second question. Why leave it as 4/7?
Because, because it would come out as like a, what's the word? It wouldn't divide evenly. And it would come out as a weird number.
Okay, so it would come out as an ugly looking decimal is what I like to call it. So because it doesn't divide evenly, meaning 7 doesn't go into 4 nicely, we leave it as a fraction, making sure to simplify. We can't simplify it any further because there's no number that goes both into 4 and 7. So it is just 4/7, and then the x is still there. So we did it. Y is isolated. However, like Angela referenced earlier, we can definitely change this to look like in the form of y equals mx plus b. And to do that, I just rearrange. I put my x term in the front, and I put my constant in the back. And if you can do that from the very beginning, awesome. If you like to see it broken down step by step, perfectly fine too. It's however your brain works, remember? Okay, so what questions do you have on that?
I'm just gonna say I did that all wrong on the test.
And that's fine, you hadn't seen it before. It is perfectly fine. I appreciate those of you who tried, and I appreciate more those of you who actually showed me your steps because I'd like to look inside your brain and see how you were thinking. Okay? So we're going to do another example. Very similar to this one, only we're going to include an inequality in there. An inequality. Solve for y. X minus 3y is less than or equal to negative 15. If I move it up too far, let me know.
So
Go ahead.
okay. Subtract x on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to start by subtracting x because remember, I want to solve for y. So I'm not going to move that y. He's going to stay on that side. Don't even bug him. So x will be my term that has nothing to do with him. So I'm going to move him first. Where do I put it on this side?
Oh, not directly under, but next to it.
Mm-hmm. Off to the side because they are not the same terms. X minus x.
0.
I'm going to bring down the stuff I did nothing with, which includes this minus right here. And I just write this as my number sentence. What do we do next?
Divide everything by negative 3.
Divide everything by negative 3. Perfect.
Mommy, baby the boys, they are snuggled up in like a little towel blanket.
Okay. Negative 3 divided by negative 3?
Y.
Just y. All right, Angela, you're back on. Thank you for letting me know. Negative 15 divided by negative 3?
5. Negative 5.
Negative or positive 5? I heard both.
Oh, wait. It's positive. Yeah.
Why is it positive?
Sorry.
So why is it positive?
Because it's dividing to negative.
Uh-huh, it's that negative on top of a negative. So it's a positive. All right, over here we have something special because there's no visible number in front of 1. What? Not in front of 1. Oh, in front of x. What's that number right there? That's in front of it.
1.
1. So it's really negative 1 divided by negative 3. So what's negative 1 divided by negative 3?
3.
So negative 3 divided by negative 1 is 3. But what's negative 1 divided by negative 3?
It would just be 1/3 x.
It'd just be 1/3 and then the x. And it's also a positive because those two minuses. So we're going to put a plus right there. All right, and then I left this blank because we're dealing with an inequality. I have to go back and think. My golden rule. What does that golden rule say?
Flip the sign if you divide, or is it justify divide by a negative number?
Uh-huh. If you divide by a negative number, you flip the sign. So look at where I did my dividing. Did I divide by a negative number?
Yes.
Yes, I divided by negative 3, so that sign should flip. And I wish I would have left more space. I put those like right beneath each other. So there's my answer. And the reason for the sign flip is the golden rule. Okay, so if I need to rearrange this to make it look like y equals mx plus b, what would that look like?
Put the variable 1/3 x in front of the 5.
Okay, so read me the statement. What would the statement be?
Y is greater than or equal to 1/3 x plus 5.
Yep. So that's just the rearranging. Put the x in the front, put the constant in the back. All right, so quick review to see how much you actually remember from 8th grade. We talked about this being in y equals mx plus b. So what does 1/3 represent?
The slope,
The slope. Remember, m is your slope. What does the plus 5 represent?
the y-intercept.
My y-intercept. So this form is called slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. This process that we did on both the top and the bottom is going from standard form to slope-intercept form. So we're going to learn different forms this year for a line. Standard form to slope-intercept form. That's just a preview of what's to come. The next two examples, we're going to do point-slope form to slope-intercept form. Anybody still writing this down?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for replying. Two more examples. And again, this is going to be doing point slope to slope intercept. And I don't know if it's because they had practice already or if this one's just easier, but last class said this one was easier. Solve for y. Y minus 8 equals negative 1/2 x plus 10.
Go look behind the
I know what we have to do first.
All right, hold on, Greenlee. Did someone say something else? Or was that your mom, Greenlee?
Sorry, that was mom.
Oh, okay. I thought someone else was talking to. All right, what do you think we got to do first, Greenlee?
We have to, since it parentheses turned into 1, we have to do like negative 1.5 times 1.
Okay, so you're telling me there's that 1 right there? So what is negative 1/2 times 1x?
We actually don't know where our calculator is. We had it just some days ago.
Okay, well, what's anything times 1, Greenlee? Do you know that? What's like 4 times 1?
I think 0.5 times 1 is 0.5, so it might be negative 1.
Negative 1/2 x. Is that the only thing we're going to multiply it to?
No, because we also got the 10.
Okay. So I also have to take this negative 1/2 and multiply it to the 10. All right, someone who has their calculator, because Greenlee doesn't have hers right now, what is negative 1/2 times 10?
75.
Negative 5.
Uh-huh. And then moving everything else down.
Okay, so what is that step called? What did we just do?
Basically, we distributed.
That's exactly the word I was looking for. So my first step here was to distribute.
DC mad.
Mm-hmm.
I thought DC superheroes mad.
All right, so we're trying to get y alone.
Uh-huh.
So what am I going to do now?
So basically, you can't mess with the half again because we already messed with it.
Okay.
We already distributed it. So now we gotta do change the minus to plus. So a plus a. Well, we have to do one. We have to do it to the other.
Okay, so yes, we're going to cancel out this side. We're going to do plus 8. And exactly like you said, what we do to one side, we do to the other. Where on this other side am I going to do the plus 8?
Negative 5.
Perfect. And we said this has to be canceled out, so that's why it's 0.
She had to go to the restroom for a second.
What's,
Negative 8.
so negative 5 plus 8?
3. I counted with my fingers.
Yeah. So that's 3, and that's positive 3 because you have fingers. It's not like you have negative fingers. And we bring everything else.
We bring everything else down.
And I'm going to put a little note over here. It only went to the like term.
Only. Now, I think we're supposed to divide now.
Well, look at the y. Because that's what we're trying to get by itself, right?
Yeah, y is also weighted.
Okay, so we're done. The y is already by itself, so we are done. That is my answer.
Yeah, because we cannot divide because there's no equal left.
Mm-hmm. Do I need to rearrange this one to make it look like y equals mx plus b?
I was about to say no.
Yeah, no is the right answer. It already is y equals mx plus b.
Because if we do it the other way, it'll be a random number. It's hard to figure out.
Yeah, if we do it the other way, it'd be the 3 in the front and the 1/2 in the back with the x. We want the x to be first. So there's my answer. Perfect, thank you.
Good. Gracias.
All right, let's do one more like this, and then we got the Kahoot, and then pre-assessment, and we are done. Solve for y. Y plus 7 equals 3/4 x minus 16.
distribute
Okay, so what am I distributing?
the 3/4 to the x into the negative 16.
So 3/4 times x.
3/4 x.
And then you told me to the negative 16 as well, so 3/4 times negative 16.
3 times 16 would be 48. So 48 divided by 4 would be 12. So negative 12.
Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and bring everything else down.
You would add the, well, I would add the 12 first.
What are we trying to get alone?
Oh, the y.
The y.
So minus 12. I mean, minus 7.
Minus 7, yes. And where do I subtract it on this side?
Negative 12.
On the negative 12. 7 minus 7? 0. Negative 12 minus 7?
Negative 19.
And I'm going to bring everything else down.
This is easier than I thought.
Isn't it? I told y'all, last class said the same thing. And I think it's because y'all have that last unit already in your head. So we're doing the same thing, just with extra letters. And that's it. When you're done typing notes, or not typing, writing down your notes, go to www.kahoot.it, and I'll give you the pin code here in a little bit. And I'll type it in here. The Kahoot is not going to be a grade. However, it is going to earn you bonus points on the upcoming test for the top 3 people. Top 3 people, bonus points.